is tradition, I am not in a Rover, a Volvo, a Mercedes, or any other car right now. I'm in something new. This is a 94 Jeep Grand Cherokee 4-liter, and I just picked it up. So, more to come, obviously. I'm hoping I'm going to get home. Well, I must bought this Jeep. You know, I don't call the channel Addicted Motors for no reason. I saw it on Facebook. I told myself I didn't need another car. I'm kind of full in the driveway so far. And I didn't listen to my better judgment, and I bought it. So I've never really bought a Jeep before, but this is the first Jeep. This is a 94 Grand Cherokee Laredo 4-liter. 144,000 miles, or 149,000 miles. Pretty low for the year. Sorry, bud. Yeah, other than that, it's got new tires, new brakes. It needs a lot of little things, but overall it's not terrible. I'm going to probably get into it a little bit more tomorrow when the light comes, when the sun's out. But yeah, I bought a Jeep, so we'll see where this goes. Howdy, so this isn't a Range Rover for once. This is a 94 ZJ Grand Cherokee that we picked up last night. It's decent. It's got 148,000 miles. I think I posted about it yesterday. Virginia truck, no major rust. It's definitely going to be a project for the most part. I mean, the paint looks decent, but if you really get close, there's little odds and ends that need at least replacing or fixing. This has kind of been glued on. There's some paint that needs to be get off there. But no, other than that, the body's pretty decent. Again, it's not rust out or anything. It starts up, runs fine. This is an early model ZJ Cherokee. It's a 4-liter, so it's got the straight 6 in it. Pretty bulletproof drivetrain combination. It has selectable and permanent and part-time 4-wheel drive and 4-low, so it's pretty capable 4x4. But no, we decided to take a deviation from the Rover thing and grab a Cherokee. I mean, I think there's not many people that do not like these early models. To me, they're even more desirable in the 5.2, 4.7 configurations. But no, this one's pretty good. I mean, the paint's decent. It looks pretty presentable. It has new tires, at least 2018 date stamp. Has had a recent brake job, oil change, so it's pretty much all there. But I'm going to do just a quick walk around and kind of show you guys what we're working with to start off with. Pretty standard interior configuration. It's not the limited or anything like that. I haven't cleaned it up or anything yet, so it's still pretty dirty. I think the guy we bought it from kind of used it as a work truck for a little while. But you know, here's the inside. You know, these early Chrysler Jeep products have actually pretty decent fit and finish on the inside. You know, there's some things that don't hold up too great, i.e. the headliner, and this one's not amazing. There's some electronics that need to be kind of brought back to light. The radio doesn't work, but overall it's pretty standard Jeep. You have this Chrysler steering wheel that I think my parents had in their 91 Grand Caravan, so this was kind of consistent over many model years. But yeah, this one's only got 149,000 miles, which is not bad for these trucks. I mean, I don't know if you've seen Doug's channel, but his 2000 had over 400,000 miles on the original powertrain. So, you know, like they say on the internet, this one's a baby. Obviously, this shifter console needs to be replaced. It's all functional. It's just the plastic shroud. This computer, I need to figure out why there's no power to it. Same with the radio. But luckily, all this stuff's fairly easy to kind of sort out. I mean, the interior fuse box is over there, so I can yank that out and start doing some diag on it. Do have the original manual, which is pretty neat. Yeah, the original pamphlet and whatnot. You know, it's just all the stuff that usually is lost in translation when you purchase a car for not a lot of money. The recent maintenance and whatnot. But these leather seats are decent. have the ribbed kind of leather finish. And yeah, no, I like it. You know, again, it's not our usual take on these cars, but you know, it's something a little different. This is my first Jeep that I've actually purchased. So, well, I've driven a lot of them. I'm always, you know, unfortunately impressed. I do like the way they drive and handle. They're always a lot better than you think they are. And yeah, I decided to actually jump on one myself. But yeah, let me fire it up and I'll show you the engine compartment. Fires up, runs smooth. I just washed the engine bay a little bit. Pop the hood on it. You know, I didn't notice any major leaks or anything, which is good because these tend to drip oil from the, I think from the front cooler lines. Let me just remember where the hood release is on this. But yeah, very clean 4-liter. Newer battery. He had the AC compressor replaced a couple years ago, so that's new and functional. You know, it runs smooth. I mean, they made these 4-cylinder. I mean, these straight sixes forever. You know, we had a debate as far as the longest running production motor over a span of decades, and the 4-liter was one of them. The Jag 4.2 straight six, the 3.5, 3.9, 4.2s, 4.6s that they put in the Range Rovers, the original Buick motor, the Ford 302. But again, this one's up there. Parts are easy to find. It's just a pretty decent. I know everyone likes to use the word bulletproof powertrain, but if they're not abused and they're taken care of, it should be a pretty reliable endeavor. There's not a lot to be lost with this one. But yeah, here's the underside. Again, not rusty or anything like that. That's good. Again, it's a good solid base to start. We're not going to do a whole lot to this truck. It's mainly just going to be cosmetic interior fixes, and then yeah, hopefully it'll find a new owner, or it might decide to hang on to it. But you know, it's good to buy if you're buying and selling cars or trucks or whatever you're doing, or you're just doing it for the collecting purposes. It's good to purchase something that has, you know, inherent value, and that if worse push comes to shove, you wouldn't mind keeping yourself. You know, and this is a decent rig, and you know, if something fell through or I couldn't find a buyer or I decided to keep it, I really wouldn't be mad about it, honestly, because it's in fairly good condition, and it looks like I'm gonna need some struts. There's the current strut, so a pair of trunk struts are probably going to be in order. Gonna have to make an Amazon purchase here probably in a little bit, but yeah, no, the red paint looks good, and I'm pretty impressed with it so far. We'll probably post another video as I kind of get in the diag and start troubleshooting some of the interior bits and go from there. Thanks. All right, I'll do a quick update on the Jeep. Common problem with this chassis and with these models is the rear running lights burning out the bulbs with excessive heat. This one was not different. Front lights work, rear lights don't. It doesn't look too good. The bulb was actually seized in there and wouldn't come out. It actually came off. I had to use a pair of pliers to really get it out of there, but it needs a kind of a special type bulb with a double connector in there. I have to go find one of those. It doesn't take your standard, I don't know, single connector, whatever you want to call it, bulbs. I have to find a couple of those, but hopefully that'll fix the taillight issue. As you can tell, I'm going to need struts, and I'm going to use some Dawn. Try to clean the schmoo off the top here, so I'll give that a shot, start working on the inside, and go from there. the satisfying side of things. All right, so I forgot to update. I forgot to follow the steps I took for this video right here. So I removed this piece. I'm gonna probably get that from the junkyard. Next, two symptoms this Jeep has is the radio is inoperative, and the VIC, the Vehicle Information Controller, is inoperational as well. Let me see, did I pull that out? I pulled that out. So this, it's the early 90s type of, early computer system. It tells you what, if you're in four-wheel drive, it tells you the door's open, the light's out, who knows what's wrong with it. This is also probably something I can find at a junkyard for relatively not much money. I guess the thing I need to figure out at this point is whether or not I have an electrical issue that has all of this shorted out, whether or not it's getting power. I think it is getting power. The fuse does make a noise when it's on, so I'm thinking that for some reason these two items are shot. Whether there's an electrical surge or something back in the day, who knows. But to remove this, you have to put the car in e-brake on, put the car in first or second. First, you need to remove the ashtray, which is right here. There's two screws back in there. I don't know whether or not you can see it or not. They need to be removed. Then the ashtray pulls out. After that, there's two screws here and here that need to come out, as long as two screws here and here. And once those are removed, this piece of plastic, or this surround, can kind of come back and give you access to everything else that's in here. Once you do that, to remove the VIC, there are two Phillips head screws here, and there's one right down below right there, and then it just comes out. So, I mean, it took me about, 30 seconds to remove pretty much the whole dash. And then the radio is a 10 mil here and a 10 mil here, and this comes out as well. So fairly easy, just getting to the basic trial and error troubleshooting side of this. Hopefully I can find a used radio and a vehicle information system at the junkyard, and that solves my problems. If not, then I'll have some other issues. The other module I might have to replace is this dimmer switch down here. I don't have dash lights, so that's going to be an issue. But again, all these parts and pieces should be able to be sourced fairly easily at a local junkyard, and that's probably where I'm going to head probably sometime in the next couple days to get those items. So yeah,